The Adrian College Sports Network wants you to join us in thanking one of our sponsors, the Carlton Lodge of Adrian. The Carlton Lodge offers a comfortable and convenient lodging experience. Carlton has spacious rooms and suites, fit for a peaceful night's sleep. Their amenities include a hot tub and pool, a 24-hour fitness center, a business center, and much more. A huge thanks to Adrian College's choice of lodging for sponsoring Bulldog Athletics.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Dear College Sports.
Dear College Sports.
Dear College Sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel We can see it.
A return to normal in all the things we love about sports. We're filled with hope just thinking about it.
Fans in stadiums and arenas, the hugs, high fives, and dog piles, the championship moments, even the heartbreaking losses. They're coming.
While this pandemic is not over, it continues to impact our lives. You've taught us to be resilient even in the face of adversity.
To control what we can control and put the greater good before ourselves, we've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength in each other, even when we were kept apart.
We found unity across campuses, conferences, and divisions.
We found out our voices carry weight.
Weight will continue to use for positive change.
If 2020 taught us anything, it's that nothing's guaranteed. We lost experiences and opportunities we may have taken for granted.
The bonding time with our second families, the taste of a hard-earned victory, the comeback stories.
Now, we're ready for the greatest comeback you've ever seen. To campuses, classrooms, and competition.
Moments together, face to face, hand in hand, arm in arm.
More celebrations in uniform and graduations in cap and gown.
You take us to places we never imagined. You hold us to a higher standard. You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a future full of promise.
We see a better world for you, for all of us, for college sports.
Hello students, this is President Docking coming to you again from the President's Office at Adrian College. Hey, I'm sending you this video with some great news. Despite all that's been happening with the pandemic, COVID-19, etc., we've been hard at work on campus, and the faculty have recently approved 8 new degree programs, which I think are super exciting, and I want you guys to know about these so you can start to think about them as you think about your future academic career here. So here they are. The first one is in public health. We have both a major and a minor now in public health. Can you think of a more relevant major than public health right now, given all that's going on? The second one is supply chain management. If you're following the news, supply chain management is really where it's at. There are thousands of jobs. I happened to look before I got in this video. Some of these jobs pay over $100,000 a year. Right out of college, public health pays very well as well. Great area to go into. The third new major that the faculty approved is human resources. And you know, every business, I mean, whether it's Adrian College or IBM or something in between, has a human resource office. Lots of jobs, great field to go into. The fourth is professional sales. Now, whatever your professional career, you have to know how to sell, whether you're selling yourself, whether you're selling goods, whether you're selling services, whether you're selling your character. Professional sales is a great thing to be trained in academically. The next one is esports management. Now, esports is just absolutely exploding across the country. And I know we have a lot of students that are athletes that would like to stay into sports. So we now have an esports minor degree. It's a minor right now, may turn into a major later, but it's a minor right now that you can get your degree in. And then we have 2 certificates that we're now offering in digital marketing, which is incredible. I mean, digital marketing, again, whatever you're going into, if you can do some digital marketing, your employers will love it. So these are high skill, high pay, high need areas with literally thousands of jobs coast to coast. So long and short is, once again, Adrian's on the cutting edge. We're at the forefront. We are leading the pack in innovation and ingenuity. And we just wanted you guys to know all that's going on. So there you go. It's all good news today. I hope that brightened your day. Thanks for tuning in.
sends it in front. Shot centered by him, Davis, he scores! And Adrian with a dream start in the finals of the MIAA tournament.
Right now. Whoa! The air let the crowd into it. He fired. Oh my goodness! How in the world? That will do it. Sticks fly into the ceiling. The Bulldogs take to the ice. The Harris Cup to Adrian, Michigan, and the seniors. They've secured a championship here for the Adrian College Bulldogs.
I don't even know what we say about it. Like I'm kind of left speechless after that.
Next on ice, representing the United States of America, Adrian College.
Oh, hey, there he is, Bruiser. Hi, I'm Bruiser's biggest fan. He was a legend to us puppies.
Strong but silent. Such a humble attitude from such a prominent figure.
He ran Adrian College's campus. Everyone loved him and wanted to meet him wherever he went. Welcome week, homecoming, spring concert, he was there and looking good. Well, he did have his own private groomer. He was so cool. He had the best education a Bulldog could ever ask for, as many walks as he wanted. Heck, the dog had his own pass to Richie. Bruiser was an athlete, but
we continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today.
And the slam!
161 years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence.
I believe that if you get your degree here, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking.
Oh, leading off for the Comets in the top half of the first inning is center fielder number 18, Matt Hewitt.
Well, hello and welcome to the MIAA tournament here on Adrian College TV and on the campus of Adrian College. First pitch, and we're underway. It's going to be one pitch, one out for the starting pitcher, Michael Swanson, on the mound for the Bulldogs. Olivet coming into this game as the number 8 seed against the number 1 seed Adrian College Bulldogs. We're in for a show, hosting Pod A.
Batting shortstop number 8, Matt Fisher.
Didn't even get a chance to put up the scoreboard and everything. There's already an out on the board, and life goes on.
Strike as well.
Yeah, that's right. Matt Kibbe, Mike Prang, Dave Van Giesen up here in the booth. The typical crowd to come to you over the airwaves at the NCAA field. And the Bulldogs and the Comets will be doing battle. As we get into it, I'll let Mike Prang tell you a little bit about today's starting pitcher for the Adrian College Bulldogs.
Yeah, Michael Swanson this year has kind of been used as more of an opener, as Craig Prince would call him. That's pitching coach for Adrian as he strikes out Fisher there on a slider outside. So 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Now batting the first baseman, number 5, Logan Sella.
Get you some stats on here in just a second when I get my book situation.
I can tell you, Mike, that Michael is wasting no time in this first inning. He's pumped with the excitement of tournament play, and he is going right at the Comets as he finally throws a ball on the first pitch here to Sella.
Yeah, Swanson coming in with a 3.6 ERA. He's got a record of 2-1 in 8 appearances with 2 starts, only thrown 16 1/3 inning. So like I was saying before, you know, the pitching coach Craig Prince kind of uses him as that kind of opener role, guy that will go 1 or 2 innings in that game 4 of the series, and then they'll kind of head into that bullpen committee day.
Sella batting .333 on the year for Olivet. He's the 3-hole hitter here with 2 outs. It's a 2-1 count. And make it 3-1. For the Bulldogs, traditional lineup out in the outfield. You're going to have Cooper in left, Peck in center, and Casal over at right field. On the infield, again, it's typical lineup. O'Keefe at third, Miller at short, Wood at second. Kind of a weird change, if you will, but it's still one of those staple. Aaron Valentine is the first baseman. And, of course, the battery, Gunnar Rainey today for the Bulldogs. That one swung on, and that's going to be strike 3. Olivet goes 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning, and the Bulldogs will look to come up to bat in the bottom of the first and get an early lead. We'll be right back here on Adrian College Sports Network.
Adrian College's 2020-2021 enrollment has set a new record at 1,865 students. The incoming freshman class of 602 new students helped set the new record. This is the 13th consecutive year the Bulldogs have had an incoming class of more than 500 freshmen. Nearly 6,000 high school seniors applied to attend Adrian College this fall. Why do so many students choose Adrian? Adrian is constantly expanding majors offered to incoming freshmen. If you're a high schooler or know someone who is looking at taking their education to the next level, AC could be the answer. To see the programs Adrian offers, learn more about the process, schedule a visit, and even apply today, visit adrian.edu/admissions. adrian.edu/admissions. We look forward to seeing you on campus.
Welcome back to Nicolay Field here on the beautiful campus of Adrian College. Want to welcome in our listening audience on WVAC Adrian 107.9 FM. This is the Adrian College Sports Network for Adrian College TV. Welcome everybody on YouTube as well, streaming live, free, and in HD. You can find us on all of our social media platforms at Adrian College TV. Just drop us a follow. There's some awesome stuff, awesome content out right now that I'm very proud of, that I will promote throughout the entire day today. It's the ranked video. Very happy with it. But other than that, baseball, college baseball, no school, no classes, just baseball here on the campus of Adrian College, as we'll give way to the public address announcer, Dave Van Giesen.
Leading off for the Bulldogs in the bottom half of the first inning is shortstop number 4, Thomas Miller.
Let's take a look at the batting order here for the Bulldogs. Tommy Miller leads off at shortstop. Following behind him is Brady Wood, then Gunnar Rainey in the 3-hole. Designated hitter Kevin Cardenti, followed by Joe Casal, the right fielder. Brandon Cooper, the left fielder. Aaron Valentine over at first. Sean O'Keefe at third. Ty Peck in center.
And Mike, they'll be facing Brendan Redding of the Comets. He comes in with a 1-4 record in 8 appearances as Miller fouls the next pitch off. He's struck out 10 so far this season. He's walked 5, and he has a ERA of 7.71. So he is getting the start for Olivet. And we were talking last inning about Swanson being kind of a starter and pitching by committee. And that's, I think, one thing you see that's different about tournament play than in the regular season. Literally every game is considered to be pitched by committee, depending on the score and how the game is going. So you don't see a whole lot of complete games in tournament action.
1-2 here on Miller, the leadoff man for the Bulldogs. That pitch is outside, make it 2-2. Here at the plate, sun is out at this 4 o'clock start, a little bit earlier than the evening starts we've kind of gotten used to here at the Nick, but the sun will be shining. It's a little partly cloudy. It's a nice 60 degrees as Miller is going to strike out to start the bottom of the first inning.
Now batting the second baseman, number 11, Brady Wood.
Olivet coming into today's game with a 6-22 record. They're 4-12 in conference. Bulldogs, on the other hand, currently ranked 12th in the nation. First in the Mid-East region. There were supposed to be regional rankings coming out today. I have not seen them yet for week 2. I'm still only seeing week 1, but the Bulldogs did hold the number 1 spot in the Mid-East region. They have a 27-7 record. They're 21-2 on the season in conference. 2 losses in conference is the least amount of conference losses in program history for the Bulldogs.
That one's going to be rolled over to third and not able to be hung on to there by the likes of Compton for Olivet. That's going to be an error.
Now batting the catcher, number 10, Gunnar Rainey.
That brings up Gunnar Rainey, who is having a great year to his name, batting .438 on the year, and a hit streak came to an end last time we were on air against KZoo.
Yeah, and he struggled a bit on the road as well in those final 2 regular season games, so I think he's looking to just kind of get back into things, playing the 8 seed Olivet, and he's known to kind of been having the power bat against Olivet in his past, so maybe this can get him right back on track right in time for later in the postseason. As that pitch goes wide outside, Wood will advance on the wild pitch. So there's a runner in scoring position with a 1-0 count to Rainey.
Mike, you were talking about the Comets record, and it's also important to note that the Comets and Bulldogs did not get together in the regular season because the Comets were unable to make COVID-19 protocols that weekend, and that kind of set that series back. So this is the first time these 2 teams have met in the season, so that's a little bit different than what would have been with all the other teams in the MIAA, where the Bulldogs have seen them, and by the same token, the other teams have seen the Bulldogs. So,
yeah, and I was talking to Coach Craig Rainey about that. You know, how do you keep your team still in that competitive environment with now kind of a bye weekend, I guess you can consider it. And they went and they played inter-squad games. They still had some umpires out here, and they, you know, coaches turned into umpires at some point, but they played against each other, and they tried to keep it just as competitive as possible, keep, you know, in shape, keep it from, you know, getting the dust on, I guess you can say, rather than shaking it off.
Well, again, in any other year, they might have been able to pick up a game on that weekend or during the week. You know, that's been the one thing about this season. There really hasn't been any weekday games like there normally would be. Usually they'll, you know, play on a Tuesday against somebody. So with COVID, it's really kind of hard to get that going this season. So they almost had to do something like that to stay sharp.
2-2 here on Gunnar Rainey. Saw a nice pitch on the outside corner. You know, when you're the catcher, though, you typically know that zone really well. And Gunnar Rainey took it, gets it called a ball, and evens up the count with 1 out. And Brady Wood at second base.
Yeah, definitely too close of a pitch not to swing at. But like you said, already knowing the zone here, you know, kind of was in his favor.
Swings at that one, fouls it off down the third base line, and Bulldog's going to hustle after that one. Always one of the fun things to see here at the Nick. This is the first game of the MIAA tournament. Well, really, first of 4 games across the MIAA. Every game today started at 4 o'clock. Those other matchups include Kalamazoo versus Alma. Hope is taking on, as that one's going to be swung on and driven to right field. It's going to be over the head of the right fielder. Gunnar Rainey is going to round first and head to second. Wood will score standing up. Wood and Gunnar Rainey will get a stand-up triple. And the Bulldogs take an early 1-0 lead over the Olivet Comets with Gunnar Rainey hitting a stand-up triple.
Now batting designated hitter number 9, Kevin Cardenti. Well, that play there, Matt, the right fielder Trevor Savage kind of misplayed that ball right at the start. I think he thought it was hit more on the line and lower, and he took a couple steps in, and once he did that, there was no way he was going to get back to catch it. And when it rolls all the way to the wall out there in the alley in right field, it's usually a triple. And so it was on this occasion.
Perks to having a turf outfield as well. You know, there's not that long grass that can stop it or keep it from rolling. It's just going to keep going.
Here's a guy that we've been talking about throughout the course of the year, Kevin Cardenti, batting .485 in that second game against Kalamazoo. Actually got his average up to 500, and then we've seen it kind of mellow back down, but still .485 on the year, and incredible numbers for him as he rolls that one over to short. It will score a run, and the Bulldogs will take a 2-0 lead on the Kevin Cardenti sacrifice groundout.
Now batting the right fielder number 17, Joe Cassell.
Bulldogs had 8 people named to the all MIAA team this year, with 4 of them being on the first team, 4 of them being on second team, and then also collecting the position player of the year, Gunnar Rainey, for the second season in a row. Back in 2019 was the last time they released that award, so he won it back then. He won it this year again, and then Pierce Banks was a unanimous pitcher of the year for the Bulldogs.
Really shows the versatility that this team has, as Cassell's going to pop that one up into foul territory. It will give way over the fence, and there's the perk of being at the Nick. A small outfield, or not a small outfield, small foul territory here at the Nick, and usually will benefit the hitters. Pitchers usually not a fan of it, because that's at normal park, that's possibly an out for a typical shortstop to get over to and get under.
Yeah, we saw that in the first inning, first pitch. You know, Thomas Miller was the one that made kind of the long run, and it stayed in play, so he was able to make that catch.
Tell you what, it really impressed me just how many balls are lost to that was Tommy Parsons pitching here and watching him play as a Bulldog, and then he would play in the summer at the spacious C.O. Brown Stadium with the Battle Creek Bombers, and he'd get like 5 foul pop-ups a game where he hardly ever got any here.
Cassell is going to strike out, and that's going to do it for the bottom of the first inning. It doesn't come without the Bulldogs getting a couple of runs and taking an early 2-0 lead over the 8-seed Olivet Comets. We'll be right back for the top of the second inning here on the Adrian College Sports Network.
Want to see the Adrian College Outdoor Performance Band in action? The band performed on Adrian College TV, and you can watch the stream again anytime, anywhere. Professional audio technician Christopher Momini beautifully captured the event, and you can listen to the entire performance now. Visit Adrian College TV on YouTube to listen to the concert.
Well, welcome back to the beautiful Nicolay Field here on the campus of Adrian College. It's the MIAA tournament as the Adrian College Bulldogs are hosting Pod A against the Olivet Comets. Home field advantage throughout. An early 2-0 lead over the Comets here at the Nick. Matt Kibbe, Mike Prang, Dave Van Giesen up here in the booth.
Leading off for the Comets in the top half of the second inning, third baseman number 4, Ben Compton.
Ben Compton leads us off. Swanson back on the mound for his second inning of work, and just like he ended the first inning, he starts it off with a beautiful pitch. It looked like a slider on the outside. That's right where you want him. Second pitch rolled over to third. O'Keefe sends it over to Valentine at first. 5-3 on the putout, and a beautiful play for the first out of the second inning.
Now batting the catcher number 11, John Quartz.
Nice job there by Sean O'Keefe to kind of react to it. He was going to play it kind of on the second hop right in front of him, squaring up to the ball, but he decided to kind of drop one of his feet back and play the third hop and put himself more in a better position to throw it over to first.
Swanson delivers another first pitch strike. Now, you're mentioning he's more of like an opener. It's kind of a question for Goose as well as you, Mike. Do you see him having kind of an inning limit with how he's looking right now? Are they going to be wanting to go to the bullpen, or are you going to try and rely on your arm being in the tournament play to go as long as he can?
You know, I think he's going to go as long as he can because it saves other arms for later in the tournament. So probably tomorrow you either see Gage Ricker or Pierce Banks, and then Friday you'll see whoever didn't go, assuming that the Bulldogs win out and make it all the way to Friday in the winner's bracket. But, yeah, I don't think you're going to put an inning limit on him because we haven't seen him so much in multiple games in a weekend.
You know, and like I say, when you get in the tournament, I think a lot has to do with the score situation. Just because if you lose this, especially in the first round, I know it's double elimination, but you put yourself in a very bad position for winning the tournament. And so, like, it's a situation of is the game close? You know, does one team take a lead?
The 1-2 from Swanson is swung on and missed. That's going to be strike 3 for out number 2. And Swanson has looked electric.
Now batting the left fielder number 16, Silas Wall.
Yeah, that's his third strikeout of the game so far. He had 2 in the first, that one right there. So he's been doing a nice job so far. The other outs have been the grounder to third to O'Keefe and that pop-up on the first pitch of the game to Miller.
First pitch from Swanson. This one swung on. Ty Peck is right there as he covers center field. That's going to be the third out of the inning, and the Olivet Comets go 1-2-3 again here in the top of the second inning. We'll be right back here on the Adrian College Sports Network in the home half of the second.
In its 2021 edition of America's Best Colleges, U.S. News & World Report has once again ranked Adrian College as a top regional college in the Midwest. The institution was named to the Best Regional Colleges Midwest section for the 7th consecutive year, and once again listed number 2 in the Most Innovative Schools category. In addition to these honors, Adrian College was also named to the Best Undergraduate Teaching and Best Value College lists. Adrian College has been established as a distinctive and innovative educational leader in the United States. The institution places priority on a culture of innovation and critical thinking. This is the 12th consecutive year Adrian College has been featured by U.S. News & World Report. You can see the full list of rankings and find more information on their website. For more information about Adrian College, visit adrian.edu.
Welcome back to the beautiful Nicolay Field here on the campus of Adrian College. MIAA tournament, Olivet and Adrian College doing battle. It's 2-0 here early. Bulldogs were able to strike in the first inning.
Leading off for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the second is left fielder number 21, Brandon Cooper. Just get back to talking about the pitchers there, Matt. I think another big factor is the fact that these are 9-inning games as opposed to being 7, so you've got to kind of plan for 2 more innings. And so, like, as Cooper lines a single to left field, and he is a leadoff base runner for the Bulldogs. But, like, if the Bulldogs could, or, you know, even Olivet, if either team could put together one of those big innings where you get 5 or 6 runs and you get a commanding lead, you might save a Michael Swanson, you know, for relief appearances here in the later parts of the tournament. So that all kind of plays into what every coach is thinking. But again, winning this game is of maximum importance. Ladies and gentlemen, the batter is first baseman number 8, Aaron Valentine.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see once, you know, assuming the Bulldogs pick up that automatic qualifying bid to the NCAA tournament. There's 8 6-team regionals this year, all double elimination, so there could possibly be, or I believe it is 11, possibly 12 games in that regional. If you lose early, you got to climb your way back, and you only get to dress 26 guys. You don't get to dress your full roster, so that kind of limits your pitching staff a bit more than usual. But obviously that regional doesn't matter if we can't get through this.
Batter is Aaron Valentine. Nobody out. Cooper at first. We saw a hit and run in the first pitch of the at-bat. Valentine fouled it off to the third base side. The 0-1 is upstairs to make it 1-1 now. And, you know, we mentioned that these are 9-inning games now. Winner will move on and play at 12 p.m. tomorrow here at the Nick. The loser will play at 3 p.m. versus the loser of the Kalamazoo-Alma game. And then the 2 losers of the day tomorrow will go again at 6 p.m. as that one is going to get away, and Cooper will advance all the way to second base on that wild pitch pass ball.
That's the second wild pitch that Redding has thrown in this game, and each one moved a guy from first into scoring position, and Gunnar Rainey, of course, scored that runner in the first inning with a triple. Let's see what Valentine can do here with a runner at second and nobody out.
There's the 2-1. He swings, fouls it off of his foot, and we'll do it again. 2-2 the count here on Aaron Valentine on the Adrian College Sports Network. Wind is blowing in from right field today. It's not too bad. It's not heavy wind, but it's still a noticeable wind that we'll have throughout the contest. And the clouds are starting to play a factor as the field is in shade. The 2-2 fouled off again. It was off the end of the bat for Valentine, just staying alive here with 2 strikes.
A little bit of a breeze blown in from right field. At the start of the game, there was no wind at all. Flags were just straight down. Now we can see him moving a little bit.
Here's the 2-2. Valentine swings, goes to right field. It's going to hang up in the air. It's caught. Cooper thought about tagging, but elects not to with the ball getting in quickly, and that's going to be the first out of the inning as Cooper will be stranded at second base.
Now batting third baseman number 12, Sean O'Keefe. I'll tell you, the Olivet right fielder, Trevor Savage, plays a pretty shallow right field. Now, that cost him on the Gunnar Rainey ball, but he was in perfect position that time to kind of maybe steal a hit away from Valentine and keep the runner at second base.
A little bit of a shift on Sean O'Keefe. First pitch, breaking ball, hung up. Second baseman is playing literal second base. He's directly behind the bag. The shortstop leans towards the pull side. The third baseman is right about on that line, and the first baseman is shadowing over away from the first base line. The outfield, though, straight up here in this case for Sean O'Keefe. So there's a big hole between first and second. Pickoff play is on. They got him. Cooper is in the rundown. He's going to sacrifice himself, and that's going to be the second out of the inning, and it will clear the base pass. A nice move from the pitcher, Redding, that gets Cooper on the pickoff.
You mentioned the Olivet Comets shift here, and they are kind of known for their shifts. I remember, we haven't played the Comets in 2 years because there was no games last year, and they missed the games this year with COVID. But 2 years ago, they had this shift in which they went to 5 infielders, and they moved the left fielder into or they went with 4 outfielders is what they did, and they moved their second baseman out into left field, and he kind of played. It was kind of like softball with a short fielder there. And I remember they did this a lot to Brandon Cooper, and he continued to beat the shift by just hitting the ball into the football stadium.
That's right.
So they should have put one guy out there, but so you'll see this Olivet team shift a lot and do some kind of creative things with those shifts.
That's the age that baseball is heading into, the analytical stage. It's making its way down to the college level, and even all the way down to the high school level. We're starting to see a lot more of that, and Olivet is a prime example, especially when you've been kind of one of those struggling teams in the MIAA. You'll see a lot of experimenting. How can we get better? How can we do more things? And shifting and playing the numbers has been a big factor in that, and I can guarantee you will see some improvement over the course of time as they continue to do that, because like every math major tends to say, numbers don't lie on the baseball field. It's 3-2 here on O'Keefe. Redding, he is religiously working from the stretch here with nobody on. And the 3-2 fouled off by O'Keefe straight back to the first base side, and we'll do it again. I always find it interesting when you see starters that will only work out of that stretch instead of having that wind-up that so many pitchers kind of just believe by, and they don't want to get out of that. They'd rather work from the wind-up than work from the stretch.
Yeah, and it's a timing thing. There you see ball 4 to O'Keefe here with 2 outs in the inning. But it could be a timing thing when it comes to, where your body's moving during your pitching motion. I'll talk more about that in a second.
Now batting the center fielder, number 6, Ty Peck.
Some people, when they use the windup with, obviously you have to go to the stretch when you have runners on base, but they'll use the windup to kind of slow themselves down a bit and getting out in front of their pitches or dragging their arm behind and being a little bit wild. But, pitchers that sometimes work too fast will just go straight to the stretch. As there we see a ground out back to Redding for out number 3.
So the Bulldogs not able to get a run. One runner is picked off, and they leave one on base. We'll be right back here on the Adrian College Sports Network. It's 2-0 Bulldogs in the MIAA tournament.
Want to see the Adrian College Outdoor Performance Band in action? The band performed on Adrian College TV, and you can watch the stream again anytime, anywhere. Professional audio technician Christopher Momini beautifully captured the event, and you can listen to the entire performance now. Visit Adrian College TV on YouTube to listen to the concert.
Welcome back to Nicolay Field here in the MIAA tournament. Host school Adrian College for Pod A, the number 1 seed in the tournament.
Leading off for the Comets in the top half of the third is designated hitter number 34, Jake Allen.
You can see the box score here. 2 hits for the Bulldogs, no hits for Olivet. 1 error, though, for Olivet. And the first pitch of the at-bat is going to be ball 1 here on the designated hitter, Allen. Swanson back on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. He's been lights out through the first 2 innings. If I'm correct, he's at 3 strikeouts? 4?
Yes. Right you are, Matt.
3 strikeouts. And everything else has been either rolled over or popped up in the air on the infield. Nothing has gone into the outfield other than one hit to tie Peck, and it was shallow center field. As the 2-1 is swung on and missed by Allen to make it 2-2 here in the top of the third. That's swung on and missed for strike 3, and out number 1 comes courtesy of the strikeout, the 4th on the day for Michael Swanson and the Bulldogs.
Now batting second baseman number 40, Tyler Campbell.
Campbell, first pitch. There's another strike. It was a slider again by Swanson. Swung through, make it 0-2 now.
The lineup card reads 44 for Campbell, but he is wearing 40.
And they don't have a 40 listed. So
that's what I was about to say.
That one swung on and missed once again. Strikeout number 5 in the second of the third inning for out number 2. And Swanson mentioned it. Has been lights out throughout this whole entire
Now
contest.
batting the right fielder number 10, Trevor Savage. I'm going to assume that still is Trevor Campbell, and if it's not, I apologize to Comet fans that are tuned in, but that's what we told was going to bat, so that's our story, and we're sticking to it.
I believe it is. No one's yelled at me for it.
Savage is a batter. Thought about laying down a bunt from this 9-hole spot. Here's the 1-0 from Swanson. Outside, called a strike. Nice spot, and a Gunnar Rainey stick helps that pitch out a lot. The 1-1. Upstairs, make it 2-1 now here on Savage.
I think ACTV should invest in a radar gun.
I would agree with you.
Up here, that'd be nice, like an automatic one.
Yeah, something that just reads it. Well, they need to put one up there on the scoreboard and just make it nice and easy where we don't have to worry about it. We can just look up and tell you.
See, I told that story when I was at Loras College, D3, who played University of Iowa. And they had it up on their scoreboard. And top of the first, they got their guy out there, left-handed pitcher, nice, tall, 6'5", 6'6" guy. His warm-up pitch is 93, 94, 95. Then you get our guy up there. Ben Milks was his name. 73, 74, 75.
Here's the 2-2. It's down low. Gunnar Rainey lets it get by him. Trevor Savage on the year does not have an average to go next to his name, but he's played in 6 games. He's got 4 at-bats, no hits. Interesting to see Trevor Savage in the lineup today. I would imagine that's a defensive idea here for Olivet, as Swanson will deliver the 3-2. Swung on and missed. Swanson strikes out the side. 1-2-3 goes Olivet, and the Bulldogs will head to the bottom of the third inning, up 2-0 here in the MIAA tournament on the Adrian College Sports Network.
With the comments in the top half of the third, they get no runs.
Bulldog fans, connect with Adrian College TV on social media to be updated when we're broadcasting live, to see highlights, plays of the week, and much more. Adrian College Television is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ACTV's handle is @Adrian College TV on every form of social media. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the home of the Bulldogs, Adrian College TV.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Welcome back here to the Adrian College Sports Network in the MIAA tournament. Number 8 seed Olivet going up against the number 1 seed, Adrian. This is, I believe, one of the first years we've seen every team in the MIAA make it.
Well, leading off for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the third is shortstop number 4, Thomas Miller.
Yeah, normally it's the top 4 teams in the conference will play a double elimination tournament style game or bracket to determine that automatic qualifier for the NCAA tournament. But this is different, obviously, with COVID, and we didn't know, was everyone going to get their games in? Who knows, what would have happened here, what would have happened there. So they decided to put everybody in, and that's what a lot of conferences have been doing around the country, and the MIAA did that for all of their sports this year. Will it stick?
Every sport that has a tournament.
Correct. But will it stick for next year?
We'll see.
We'll see. You have to be determined, but
it is interesting to see the 2-pod system instead of the one host school for the entire tournament. I think that's something that will be thought about next year to give the benefit of coming in second in the conference standings. I think that's something that they will consider heavily. Something you see at a lot of other sports as well, where that 2 seed gets the advantage of a home game and they're not forced to go on the road. He played well enough to be the 2 seed, might as well take advantage of it and get home field. So it's 2-1 here.
I also think that, if I'm not mistaken, that because of COVID, the NCAA tournament has been pushed back a week, so the conferences can do this kind of thing. So that might follow into the future as Thomas gets a base hit right up the middle, rolling it right over the bag at second base into center field, and once again the Bulldogs have their leadoff runner on.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why there's 8 6-team regionals, and there's no super regional this year.
Now batting second baseman number 11, Brady Wood.
Normally there's some regionals that have 6 teams, some have 4 teams, some have 8 teams, and then they go to a super regional, a best of 3 series between 2 teams, and then the winner will go to College World Series in Cedar Rapids. But this year it's just the winner of each of the 8-team regionals. They'll do a double elimination style tournament in Cedar Rapids at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and that'll determine who's the winner of NCAA Division III baseball.
Tell you right now that the shift that the Comets have on at this moment, if Brady Wood would to bunt one hard past the pitcher, it's going to roll all the way to right field.
Yeah. Yep. He could go bloop one to the right field foul line, and he's probably going to score an inside the Parker on it if it rolls into that corner. The outfield and the infield fully shifted for Wood to pull here. The only one really on the right side of the infield is the first baseman who is holding Miller on base here in this 1-1 count to Brady Wood.
Yeah, he's right there on the bag, and that leaves about 94 feet of space through the infield on that left side.
That pickoff attempt almost went wide of the first baseman, Sella. If that goes wide, there's nobody there to back it up. The right fielder's got a long way to run. The first baseman's got a long way to run. So that one's hit to right center and directly at Savage playing right field.
Well, you can't say the shift didn't work. It didn't have to take a step. It was a can of corn.
Now batting catcher number 10, Gunnar Rainey. Well, he was trying to shoot one that way, but he just hit it a little too hard and right on the line to Savage, who made the catch. I noticed that Mr. Savage just backed up a little bit in right field for this bat by Mr. Rainey.
Last time Gunnar Rainey was up, he shot one over the right fielder Savage's head and ended up with a stand-up triple and got an RBI out of it, as we'll see another pickoff attempt here. You know, going back to the shift here, like you mentioned, it's a long run for the backup, the outfielder, the right fielder. Your first baseman here for Olivet Sella is on an island if it gets by him. Nobody's there to help him, and it could force, with Miller's speed, to be able to get all the way to third on an error.
That one high and tight in on Gunnar Rainey. Just made it out of the way of that one. 1-1 is the count. Small lead for Miller over at first.
It might be a small lead, but Reading still wanting to keep him honest and keep him close.
Well, he's got a pretty good move. He's already picked one runner off, that being at second base, but again, he just can't let the Bulldogs run around the bases, which they will do if you give them the opportunity. So they're trying to keep it close. They're also trying to keep Miller out of scoring position with the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up.
1 and 2 on Gunnar Rainey with Redding working from the right side. He works straight up on the rubber, not really favoring the first or third base side as he has another pickoff attempt. Again, we talked about it earlier, religiously working from the stretch here. Even with the runner on base, when nobody was on, he was in it, and the Olivet has been shifting on every single batter. The 1-2, Rainey fouls it off to the first base side, over to that new rugby field here on the campus of Adrian College on the back 40. One out here in the bottom of the third inning. The Bulldogs have 3 hits to their credit, 2 run to show for it. And Miller takes off, hit and run on. This one sliced to right field. It drops. And with Miller on the move, he'll be able to get all the way to third. And, you know, that reminds me of last night's Tigers game here on the campus of Adrian College, or back in Detroit, I should say.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 9, Kevin Cardenti.
But last night, the Tigers ended up getting 7 runs. Granted, they lost it, and it took a walk-off to beat the Royals, but it was a lot of hit and runs, a lot of putting runners in motion, and that ends up benefiting you in the long run, and that's what we see here, a hit and run with Gunnar Rainey and Thomas Miller at first base, and he's able to get all the way to third on a bloop single that really would hold anybody else up at second.
I tell you, Gunnar also, I think, is frustrating the right fielder, Trevor Savage, because he was playing short in his first at bat, so Gunnar hit it over his head. Now he moved back, so Gunnar dumps it in front of him, and be interesting to see where he stands on the third at bat. As Gunnar needs a double and a homer now for the cycle.
Rainey takes off. The throw is coming in. It's not going to be in time. This is going to allow Miller to score. And it is now 3-0 Bulldogs on that stolen base attempt that allowed Miller to come right on in. Count is 3-0 on Cardenti here with 1 out. 3-0 take all the way, make it 3-1 now.
Cardenti coming into this game, hitting .485, 33 hits, 10 doubles, 1 triple, and a homer. He's driven in 24 this season.
Here's the 3-1 from Redding. This one swung on, fouled off. It's going to hit off the pavilion. And a kid splashed into the water.
I think we got catcher's interference here.
We do.
That'll be an error to the catcher and put Cardenti at first base. And that will prompt a visit to the mound by the Olivet College coaching staff. And just like to mention on that double steal there that Thomas Miller did a good job. When he saw the throw, he could see that it was going to be short, and that's when he broke for home. And he ended up being able to walk home because the ball hit Gunnar, but I think he was going to score whether it had hit Gunnar or not because he got such a good jump on the break, reading the ball going in second base. So good job by Thomas that time to score a run. And the Bulldogs got something going now with runners at first and second and only 1 out.
Meeting's going to draw out the umpire to get him to break it up here as they're figuring out their defensive alignment with 1 out. I think this is where you kind of have a conversation on at the corners. Where do you want to go with it? Do you want to play up the middle for a double play at short and second? And where are we going with the ball? We saw this situation formulate against KZoo this past weekend.
Now batting the right fielder, number 17, Joe Cassell. I think, too, Matt, they're also considering that Joe might bunt in this situation and who's going to cover where, because this kind of a situation, the last thing that you want to do if you're the Comets is throw one to a base that doesn't have anybody there, and that acts as like a double and scores a lot of runners.
Casal swings at the first pitch. It's going to be sent to center field. Rainey is going to try and tag up. He'll hold up. He was about halfway to third on that line drive before realizing he had to get back, and Coach Klotz letting him know, hey, go tag up, go tag up. There was no play there, so it's going to be an out in the second out of the inning for the Bulldogs.
Now batting left fielder number 21, Brandon Cooper.
Yeah, Rainey thought that ball was hit a lot deeper than it actually was. It was solid contact coming off the bat. You know, from our view behind home plate, it looked a lot farther as well. But unfortunately, just right at Hewitt in center.
So here is Cooper in his second at bat of the day. That one's down low and blocked by the likes of Courts.
Curious as to see the size of the leads at second base now after Cooper was picked off in the first. I'd say Rainey's only about 6 feet off the bag.
Two 2-0 here on Cooper. Cooper has, again, we've talked about it before, and we'll talk about it more and more throughout these next home games here at the Nick, but Cooper has that sneaky power. He's tied for the team lead with 5 home runs on the season, batting .321 on the campaign. As the 2-0 is a breaking ball in, it's going to be 3-0 now. Runner at second is Gunnar Rainey. The runner at first, Kevin Cardenti. Not the fastest guys on the squad, but they can get moving when those gears get going. And that's going to be a call and strike on the 3-0. Cooper thought it was low. And the outfield again. Shifting for the pole with Cooper, the left fielder playing very close to the line. Center field shading to left, and the right field playing essentially right center field. Cooper swings, rolls it over. Shortstop has it, sends it to second, and it is in time for the final out of the inning. The Bulldogs scratch across 1 run in the bottom of the third and have a 3-0 lead as we'll head to the top of the 4th inning here on the Adrian College Sports Network. This is the MIAA tournament.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
I'm Matt Kibbe, the current student body president here at Adrian College. I chose AC because the campus simply feels like home. Everywhere I go, I know the amenities are there to help me succeed and get to the next level in my career. If you want to see what Adrian College has to offer, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Welcome back to the beautiful Nicolay Field here on the campus of Adrian College. Top of the 4th inning, Michael Swanson getting back to work for the Bulldogs. Struck out the side last time he was on the mound. He's got 6 strikeouts on the day.
Well, leading off for the Comets in the top half of the 4th inning is center fielder number 18, Matt Hewitt.
Brings up the top of the order as well. Hewitt, the center fielder. First pitch is up and away, make it 1-0. Makes it 1-1. Hewitt, last time he was up, popped up on the first pitch. He rolls this one over. Valentine makes a nice play. And he stays on the bag. That's going to be an out.
Wow. Sean O'Keefe has got to really praise his first baseman, Aaron Valentine, after keeping his foot on the bag after that one. Slid off, but he slid it back on just in time.
Now batting shortstop, number 8, Matt Fisher.
Olivet not in agreement of that one. I mean, if I was coaching, I probably wouldn't have been as well, considering Valentine's foot came off the bag at some point.
Actually, though, the first base coach, to his credit, did try and swing around the bag to make sure that Valentine touched it, which he did. And great job by Aaron to use his go-go gadget legs and stick that one back there and make it out. So good play defensively by Aaron Valentine, who's been improving defensively throughout the season. He's really done a good job. So little helping hand there for both Mr. Swanson and Mr. O'Keefe to get that batter out.
Those are plays that you will look back on in this game and realize how important they were in the long run. Here's the 1-2 on Fisher. Strike 3 called. The 7th strikeout of the day for Swanson. He is having a career day on the mound.
Now batting first baseman, number 5, Logan Sella.
That will bring up Logan Sella. 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch, called strike on the outside. When you're feeling it, you are feeling it on the mound. That's probably one of the few sports where, if you're in that groove, you stay in that groove. So that one's going to be rolled down the line for a base knock. The first one of the day for Olivet is going to be turned into a double. And no, it's not. He's out. An outfield assist to Joe Cassell as Stella was trying to stretch that single into a double. And that's going to do it for the top of the 4th inning. The Bulldogs shut down Olivet 1-2-3. They get a hit and thrown out at second. We'll be right back here on the Adrian College Sports Network.
Adrian College has dozens of athletics programs, and winning is a staple on our campus. We have the culture of winning in and out of the classroom. This is a place where young men and women grow into professionals for life. Are you interested in learning more about the Bulldog experience? Visit adrianbulldogs.com and the Recruit Me tab to be recruited to play your sport of choice today. If you have what it takes, you could be a Bulldog in no time. Are you looking to continue your athletic career while also pursuing your educational career? Adrian College houses dozens of varsity and club programs right here on campus, along with 77 undergraduate degrees and 47 majors. Are you interested in learning more about the Bulldog experience? Visit adrianbulldogs.com and the Recruit Me tab to be recruited to play your sport of choice today. If you have what it takes, you could be a Bulldog in no time.
Welcome back here on the campus of Adrian College. Heading into the bottom of the 4th inning, Olivet gets their first hit of the afternoon. But then quickly thrown out at second base.
Well, leading off for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 4th is first baseman number 8, Aaron Valentine.
Yeah, that's been great defense so far. 2 plays this inning, Sean O'Keefe throwing off balance, making a great play coming in on that ball. Just the throw is a little bit off. Credit Aaron Valentine for catching it, staying near the bag, and able to get his foot back on the base just in time for out number 1. And then Joe Cassell picking up the ball, throwing a absolute dart to second, right on the money to get out number 3.
I'll tell you another thing there, Mike, is that last play shows a lot about how important these shifts are in baseball, because sometimes it can be such a game of inches, and in that situation later in the game, Valentine probably would have been closer to the line in a no doubles kind of situation, but this early, as there's a ground ball to short and the long throw to first, and Valentine is out for out number 1. But this early in the contest, Valentine was playing off the line a little bit, and it just got down the line. But in right field, Cassell was not, and I don't think, the runner thought about that, and that's why he got thrown out at second. Now batting third baseman number 12, Sean O'Keefe.
Sella also not the speediest guy on the base pass, and it was a shallow single that really rolled down the line as O'Keefe will attempt to bunt this one down for a base knock. He's not going to get it.
Like I say, man, the key to that play was Joe was kind of swung off towards the line, and I think that Sella kind of forgot that, and so when he saw it go past Valentine, he figured it would just roll down in the corner, and he could, pretty much just kind of chug into second base, and Joe got over there a lot quicker than he thought, and of course he's got a great arm. There's a base hit that the second baseman goes and picks up, but he had to go so far that he had no chance to get Sean O'Keefe, so give O'Keefe an infield single to the second baseman. Now batting center fielder number 6, Ty Peck.
There's some score updates from around the MIAA tournament. Number 2 seeded Hope is hosting number 7 seed Trine. That score is 0-0 in the top of the 4th over in Holland. The 5 seeded Alma Scots are beating the 4 seed Kalamazoo Hornets 2-1 in the bottom of the 2nd. And then the 3 seeded Calvin University Knights are hosting the Albion College Britons. That game's tied 1-1 in the top of the 5th.
It's on the rollover. That one's going to be sent away. The Olivet Comets were going for the traditional 4-6-3 double play. They got the 4-6, but the 6-3 wasn't there. Thrown away, and the speed of Ty Peck puts him on second base.
Now batting shortstop number 4, Thomas Miller.
Brings up the top of the order. There was a chance that there could have been 2 throwing errors on that play. Stella tried to send it over to second after he got it off of the wall, and luckily the shortstop stayed back and was able to catch it before it went out in the outfield. Ty Peck could be standing on third here, but instead he'll be at second.
Well, I tell you, that was good base running by Peck, though, as we get one in the dirt, so he will get to third. And that just magnifies the good base running to start with, because as we talked many times, it's not a lot of room there behind the first baseman, so you got to go right now, and he didn't even hesitate. He just trusted his speed that could get him there, and he just motored to second base, and he had that big running start, and they had no chance to get him.
Miller sends this one to center field. It's trailing, and it's going to be caught out in the outfield by Hewitt. The Bulldogs are going to strand a runner at third, not able to get anything across. It's going to be 3-0 as we go into the top of the 5th inning here at the beautiful Nicolay Field. We'll be right back here on the Adrian College Sports Network.
Bulldog fans, connect with Adrian College TV on social media to be updated when we're broadcasting live, to see highlights, plays of the week, and much more. Adrian College Television is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ACTV's handle is at Adrian College TV on every form of social media. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the home of the Bulldogs, Adrian College TV.
Welcome back here to the Nicolay Field in the MIAA tournament. This 9-inning single game as Adrian College takes on Olivet. It's 3-0.
New pitcher on for the Bulldogs is going to be number 43, Trey Miller. So that'll be it for Swanson. He went 4 innings. He allowed 1 hit, no runs, 7 strikeouts, one of them looking. He also got 2 guys to fly out and 2 people to ground out. 43 total pitches, 31 of them were strikes for Swanson.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the Bulldogs is at number 34, Trey Miller. Miller in place of Michael Swanson.
So Miller comes into today's game with a 1-1 record, 7 appearances, 3 starts. He holds a 3.72 ERA in 19 1/3 innings pitched. He's got 14 strikeouts on the year. Opponent batting average against him, .292.
Well, leading off for the Comets on the top of the 5th, it's third baseman, number 4, Ben Compton.
This was the person that, personally, I thought was going to get the start at the beginning of this game, but that's why the lineup card is in Coach Rainey's hands and not mine.
Yeah, well, the starter that they went with, Swanson, delivered exactly what he needed to do, as the first pitch is going to be swung out and fouled off right beyond that new dugout here, or new bullpen, I should say, for the pitchers. The pitchers here at the Nick live in luxury down in that bullpen. Nice new kind of canopy over top of them.
Well, and again, this is kind of what we were talking about at the beginning of the game as we get another foul ball there. Definitely fielded by the Olivet third base coach. But we talked about, the pitching and how you handle your pitchers in tournament play, and I think that's what you're seeing, because I just feel that Coach Rainey did not tell Michael Swanson, hey, look, either throw a perfect game or I'm taking you out. Miller gets the first strikeout there as Compton is caught looking. Some excessive window shopping, and now the batter will be John Courts. Now batting the catcher, number 11, John Courts.
One of the things that, Craig Rainey and Craig Prince and I were talking about kind of in the office, as you see strike one go by there, swing and a miss. But now that these tournament games are 9 innings, you got to make up for 2 extra innings of pitching.
Yeah.
So maybe this is just kind of an instance where we're seeing who we got. Obviously we weren't seeing that many arms. We were only seeing 2, maybe 3 pitchers a game come regular season, especially with that 21-2 record in conference play. But now we're going to probably see 3, 4, 5 pitchers come tournament time, especially once we get deeper into the tournament, and then hopefully in 2 weeks in that regional.
You almost hope when Pierce Banks gets back on the mound, we continue to see what he was able to do during the regular season, where when he was on the mound, we didn't see those 2, 3 pitchers. We only saw Pierce Banks, and that's going to be another strikeout here for Trey Miller. He looked really good in his last start against Kalamazoo here at the Nick. He went a couple of innings and gave up a couple of runs, but overall looked really good with his stuff, kind of got his confidence back and the swagger back on the mound.
Batters left fielder number 16, Silas Wall.
Yeah, and perfect time for that too. It's kind of like when you think of March Madness style basketball, those 14 seeded teams that beat the 3 seed, or the 12 seed that beats the 5 seed. It's just who gets hot at the right time, and that's just sports for you. So Bulldogs were kind of riding Gage Ricker and Pierce Banks as their 2 primary starters, but now you get Trey Miller getting hot at the right time. Now your pitching staff's a little more dangerous.
Well, and that's the other thing that the big difference between basketball and baseball is, in baseball you're only as good as the pitcher that you're pitching today. And so many times in tournament play you'll find a team that is maybe lower in the standings, but they got that one good hammer, and if you have to play them first, they can beat you, and then that kind of screws up the whole tournament as far as the seeds go, because that top team gets a loss. So you've got that to look at. And in talking about the games being longer, that's the thing. If you play 4 games in a tournament like this, those extra 2 innings, that's really the 5th game that you're playing. So you're really playing 5, not 4 games as the tournament goes on. As we get a bouncer to short, Miller guns it across the diamond, and the Comets go 1, 2, 3. So after 4.5 innings, our score is Adrian 3 and Olivet 0. We'll be back on the Adrian College Sports Network.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well. Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in. Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent,
Character, hard work, grit. Leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds. Got out a last-line shift. Will their team to victory. Hit a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Welcome back here on the Adrian College Sports Network here at the Nicolay Field. 3-0 Bulldogs as we go into the bottom of the fifth inning.
Oh, leading off for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the fifth is second baseman number 11, Brady Wood.
You know, Goose, I want to go back to what you were talking about, that, you know, it doesn't matter what the team's record is. They might have that one guy that can beat you in the first game that could just throw off the whole tournament. And, you know, another conversation I had with the Bulldog coaching staff was, you know, in the event that we played Shrine, Adam Wheaton, you know, his numbers weren't flawless this year, but for some reason, Wheaton puts something extra into when he's playing the Bulldogs, and Adrian cannot hit him well. So that ball is hit to left center, and Wood leads off the inning with a base hit.
Now batting the catcher number 10, Gunnar Rainey.
Like I was saying, you know, if you face Wheaton that first game and now you can't win that first game and he beats you, you got to climb your way through the losers bracket. You got to throw more pitching, this and that. And Wheaton's doing just that to the number 2 seed at Hope College, a Flying Dutchman right now, as he's thrown 4 innings, only allowed 1 hit with 1 walk and no runs earned, or no runs allowed at all.
That's what you're seeing out of these lower seeds as well, as they're trying to get into the winner's side of that bracket.
Well, exactly, and like I say, that really kind of messes up the I guess the odds of the tournament, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because, you know, you figure if you're the 1 seed, the 2 seed, their chances are they're going to meet in the finals. But if they lose one of these first games, that's a deal. And, you know, sometimes you play a team that if you played them earlier in the season, you know, they hadn't gelled yet. They weren't really firing all cylinders, but as season went on, they got better. So sometimes just by the records, that isn't necessarily indicative of the team that you'd like to play right now.
1-1 here on Gunnar Rainey. He swings at that pitch, sends it to center field. It's dropping, and it's going to be out of the outreach glove of the center fielder, Hewitt, and that's going to get runners at first and third. He tried to lay out for it, and luckily had the backup of Savage in right field. That puts runners at the corners now with nobody out.
Now batting designated hitter number 9, Kevin Cardenti.
I want to go back to that Rainey at bat, not the hit there, but the foul ball. Coach Aaron Klotz made the play over in the third base coach's box. That's the first time all year I've seen him make an attempt for a ball.
First pitch here to Kevin Cardenti's fouled off. This is the Adrian College Sports Network, streaming on WVAC Adrian 107.9 FM, as well as on the Adrian College TV YouTube channel. Matt Kibbe, Mike Prang, Dave Van Giesen up here in the booth. You're going to be hearing a lot of us here during this MIAA tournament. 1 game today, 3 games tomorrow, possibly 2 on Friday, and then the championship hopefully next week here at the Nick. As that one's sent back, it's going to hit off the rubber of the mound and pop up into the air. Everybody's going to be safe here. A little pitcher mound hit for Kevin Cardenti. He's going to get him an RBI and a run scored for Brady Wood.
Well, that was the ultimate home field advantage, because that was going to be a double play where the second baseman just steps on the bag and throws to first, but it hit that, went way into the sky, and now it's a base hit. Now batting, right fielder number 17, Joe Cassell.
It's like a bounce pad there.
Yeah. That's the bonus to having the mound here at the Nick used to be dirt. Before putting in the new turf mound, as Cassell looks to lay down a bunt. And now we're seeing that benefit again, just like on the turf infield, on the turf grass, on the turf in the outfield. The ball speeds up a lot more. When it hits off the mound, it's a mound ball. We see them during practice. Coaches will try and hit that mound to show everybody what's going to happen. And that's what we see here today, just right off the top of that rubber.
Again, that was a hit that normally would just be a base hit into center field as Cassell bunts one off his foot down the first base line. But it was hit hard and it was just hugging the ground, so when it hit that pitching rubber, it just went about 50 feet in the air, and all the Comets could do was stand there and wait for it to come down, and that was way too late to get anybody out. Cassell has been bunting here, and I still think with this shift where they're playing the second baseman so far over, at some point the Bulldogs are going to take advantage of that with a bunt. Because, again, if they hit it past the pitcher, they're on.
Plays this one down. It goes foul on the third base side. Quickly picked up there by Courts.
I mean, normally when you're bunting this spot, you're just trying to get the runners to move up, but that's so inviting that you almost want to go for a – again, if you just make a good bunt that rolls towards where the second baseman normally would be, you are going to be on base. And that runner from second, if he gets a good jump, could even score on that.
Now it's a 1-2. That almost certainly takes the bunt away. Here with nobody out on Joe Cassell. Upstairs, make it 2-2. You know, I wanted to kind of point out, if it didn't hit off of his foot, his first bunt attempt stayed fair down the first base line too. It's 2-2 on him. Redding still on the mound. No sign of action down in the Olivet bullpen. There's a little movement over in the Adrian bullpen. It's 2-2. Gunnar Rainey at second. Kevin Cardenti, the runner at first. Redding will deliver. This one swung on, splits first and second. It's going to be a base knock, and everybody's going to get station to station here, as it will load the bases for who else but Brandon Cooper.
Nobody out still.
Now batting, left fielder number 21, Brandon Cooper. Well, Cassell didn't get the bunt down, but he placed his hit exactly where we wanted that bunt to go, and it ended up being a base hit. He's the first to really take advantage of that huge hole.
Brandon Cooper still sees a shift here from Olivet. First pitch is a ball on the outside. The outfield, again, the left field is shading towards the left field line. Center field shading towards left, and the right fielder is playing in that kind of right center field gap. The infield the same way. The second baseman is in that untraditional spot right behind second base. The first baseman plays a little bit off the bag in front of Cassell, as this one swung on and fouled off to make it 1-1 on Cooper with the bases loaded and nobody out. Wind has changed directions here, now blowing from left to right. The sun is out. Here's the 1-1 on Cooper. Swings, fouls it straight back. He's going to have to go into protect mode here with 2 strikes on him. You got to think if you're Olivet, you either want a strikeout here or a ground ball. Anything in the air is most certainly going to score a run unless it's on the infield. Here is the 1-2. Down low, make it 2-2. Good eye by Cooper.
Okay, this is a big moment in this ball game, Matt. The Bulldogs, with the bases juiced and nobody out, if they could play 2 or 3 of this, that would makes it a commanding lead as opposed to a healthy 4-0 cushion. Another ball to Cooper.
Inside, another good eye. The Bulldogs have known the zone today. Kind of a big thing we've seen. Not a whole lot of walks in the box score, but a lot of pitches that have gone by that they've taken have gotten them into good hitting counts. That's an example here for Cooper. He was down 1-2. Now it's 3-2.
Well, he's got to get it over here, or there will be a walk in the box score, and it'll score a run, and it's wide, and that's exactly what will happen, as Gunnar Rainey will trudge home with the game's 5th run, and Cooper will walk down there to first base, and the bases remain loaded with nobody out, and the Bulldogs' lead is now 5. Now batting first baseman number 8, Aaron Valentine.
Yeah, not many walks in this game, as like we talked about. Bulldogs have walked twice, but Olivet hasn't walked at all. Only one somewhat of a base runner, I guess you could say, on that single that he was eventually thrown out, trying to stretch into a double. But a funny story about walks, when we have to submit the stats to the NCAA at the end of the game, if they feel like there's a problem or something's missing in it, they'll send you an email saying, hey, look into this. Well, we got an email one time a couple of weeks ago saying, hey, take a look at the walks, because neither team walked at all. So they thought there was a problem with it because there was no walks in the game. But no, nothing was wrong with it.
Problem was everybody was throwing strikes that day.
Another mound meeting here for Olivet. And they've taken advantage of the full. We don't see that 30-second rule that you see at the MLB level, but man, if there was, they'd be breaking it in both of their mound meetings here today.
Well, both of them have been taken during fairly stressful situations. Bases loaded and nobody out. They really want to go over what they're doing and also try to give their pitcher a little confidence here and trying to just get out of the inning and try and avoid a big crooked number.
Here's the 1-0 on Valentine. He swings. It's going to be splitting the gap in right center field. This should score all 3 runs. Valentine will head into second. He'll hold up there. All 3 runs score. It's a bases clearing double, and the Bulldogs extend their lead to 8, and Valentine is going to advance to third on the pass ball error. And now the bases are cleared, and Aaron Valentine stands at third base with an 8-0 lead for the Adrian College Bulldogs.
Well, that's the hit we needed, Matt, right there. A double thrown into this bases loaded situation. Now it's 8-0, and things have become much more comfortable over there in the Adrian dugout, as our next batter is going to be Sean O'Keefe. Now batting third baseman number 12, Sean O'Keefe.
I wasn't looking. Who threw that ball?
Right fielder grabbed it and threw it in.
All the way home?
It was, if I recall, well, let's throw up the replay real quick. Let's see if we can see where it came from. I don't see where it came from. I did it too late, but it is what it is. Right fielder threw it in. So that one's going to be swung on. Another base knock here for Sean O'Keefe. That's going to score a run. 9-0 Bulldogs.
Now batting center fielder number 6, Ty Peck.
I'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Ty Peck. He swings at the first pitch, splits it over to right field. It's going to hang up. Savage will make the catch, and that's going to be the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting shortstop number 4, Thomas Miller. Well, and again, this is, I think, a product of the tournament pitching rotation and our management, where I think maybe during a regular season, Reading would have been out of this game a little earlier, but they're thinking about, saving some of their pitching as they get a double play to get out of the inning. So the Bulldogs, they score 6 times here in the 5th inning, and they have now given themselves a 9-0 lead. And we'll be back after this for inning number 6 on the Adrian College Sports Network.
Adrian College's 2020-2021 enrollment has set a new record at 1,865 students. The incoming freshman class of 602 new students helped set the new record. This is the 13th consecutive year the Bulldogs have had an incoming class of more than 500 freshmen. Nearly 6,000 high school seniors applied to attend Adrian College this fall. Why do so many students choose Adrian? Adrian is constantly expanding majors offered to incoming freshmen. If you're a high schooler or know someone who is looking at taking their education to the next level, AC could be the answer. To see the programs Adrian offers, learn more about the process, schedule a visit, and even apply today, visit adrian.edu/admissions. adrian.edu/admissions. We look forward to seeing you on campus.
Welcome back here to the Adrian College Sports Network. This is the MIAA tournament here at the campus of Adrian College at Nicolay Field. Matt Kibbe, Mike Prang, Dave Van Giesen up here in the booth. Get used to us, folks. We'll be joined by Jay Hanna tomorrow.
Leading off for Olivet in the top half of the sixth inning is the designated hitter, number 34, Jake Allen.
Jake Allen will lead us off. Trey Miller back on the mound for his second inning of work today in the top of the sixth inning. Normally we'd be telling you only 6 outs left for the Bulldogs to get, but with the conference tournament getting going, the games are back up to the traditional 9-inning set. That's across the board. Every game from here on out will be 9 innings as well. That includes the NCAA regionals. So it's 2-1 here on Allen. That one, a called strike on the outside.
It's a good frame there from Gunnar Rainey. So they thought that pitch was a little bit out. I kind of agree with the disappointed fan.
2-2 rolled over. This was going to be O'Keefe. Gloves it and sends it over to Valentine at first in time for the putout. 5-3 go the Bulldogs for the first out of the inning.
Now batting, second baseman number 40, Tyler Campbell.
Brings up Campbell. He's the second baseman today for Olivet. First pitch in the left-handed batter's box makes it 1-0. This one rolled over. Miller grabs it, takes his time, gets it over to first on a strike. That's going to be the second out of the inning. 2 ground balls here in the top of the sixth.
Now batting right fielder, number 10, Trevor Savage.
How's everybody in here? Carter, are you keeping these guys under control? You're in charge.
Here's Savage, another one rolled back to the mound, and it's going to be another 1-2-3 inning for the Bulldogs. Trey Miller gets 3 ground balls, and the score remains 9-0 here on the Adrian College Sports Network. We'll be right back for the rest of the MIAA tournament. Game number 1 between Adrian and Olivet.
Did you miss Constitution Day? The George W. Romney Institute for Law and Public Policy presented the annual Philip J. Perkowski Constitution Day Address on Adrian College TV this year.
His presentation, based on his extensive experience in the courtroom, promises to be revealing and thought-provoking. It's called Making the Words Matter, How All of Us, not just the courts, can fulfill the promise of the Constitution. Please join me in welcoming Brett DeGroff.
Using the arc of the moral universe quote too loosely carries with it a danger of magical thinking. Technically, we couldn't have expected the Constitution to do anything about it earlier. It was perfectly legal under the Constitution up to that point. The real action in this area is going to happen at the local level, in cities and in townships, because city and township governments fund and supervise police departments.
You can watch his revealing and thought-provoking speech now on Adrian College TV.
Welcome back here, Nicolay Field, MIAA first round.
Got some score updates. Hope and Trine still tied 0-0, top of the sixth. Trine has a runner on third base with 2 outs.
Love to be watching that game right now.
Alma leads Kalamazoo 4-1 in the bottom of the fourth. And Calvin is leading Albion 2-1 in the top of the 7th.
Leading off for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 6th is second baseman number 11, Brady Wood.
One of the kind of unique things is there's 2 host schools, 2 host pods, but these first kind of play-in games, if you will, of the bracket are all hosted by the higher seed of the game. So 4 games going on with the 8 teams, each at a different school. Higher seed hosting it. Number 1 seed taking on the 8 seed here. Adrian and Olivet, 9-0 game. As Brady Wood leads us off.
Think about that, though, Matt, is as the tournament goes along, I know they did this in the softball tournament, so I'm pretty sure we'll do this in baseball as well. They'll use the NCAA rule. So, like today, Kalamazoo and Adrian are the home teams. But if they were to both win, then Adrian would be the home team tomorrow. But let's say Alma upset Kalamazoo, Alma would be the home team because they haven't been home team in the tournament, and we have. So that number 1 seed does not automatically make you the home team. Now batting the catcher, number 10, Gunnar Rainey.
A strike from Brady Wood was snagged over at third base by Compton. A nice play. Gives the Comets 1 out here. And Gunnar Rainey at the dish. First pitch called a strike. Looked like a changeup. Redding still on the mound, and I think it goes back to what Goose was telling us earlier, is with this being the MIAA tournament, conserving pitching is kind of going to be that top priority. Try and keep your arms fresh. And in a 9-0 game, might as well leave the starter out there and eat some innings, as this one's popped up. Right fielder Savage will be able to get under it as it hangs up in that jet stream for a little bit too long, and there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 9, Kevin Carden.
Pinch hitter. Going to be number 24, Brandon Baldus.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. A pinch hitter for the Bulldogs. Now pinch hitting is number 24, Brandon Baldus. Baldus in place of Kevin Cardenti.
This is a move we have seen throughout the whole entire season. Kevin Cardenti will usually kind of play that first half of the game. If the score kind of gets out of hand or you need kind of a big moment, Brandon Baldus, the 60-year senior, will step in and kind of take over that DH role. His first pitch he sees today is a called strike.
This is, again, one of those moves, I think, in preparation for the upcoming tournaments. Because, again, as Mike said, if you get to the NCAA tournament, you're limited to 25 guys. So you want to make sure that your non-starters that you're going to keep on that roster are getting some playing time, getting some at-bats, and you're ready to help out when they're needed in that those key situations, because you won't have as many people sitting over there on the bench to use. So you got to have the ones that you are able to use ready to go.
It's going to be strike 3. Baldus strikes out to end the inning, and the Bulldogs' lead doesn't change. It's 9-0 as we go into the top of the 7th here on the Adrian College Sports Network.
In its 2021 edition of America's Best Colleges, U.S. News and World Report has once again ranked Adrian College as a top regional college in the Midwest. The institution was named to the Best Regional Colleges Midwest section for the 7th consecutive year, and once again listed number 2 in the Most Innovative Schools category. In addition to these honors, Adrian College was also named to the Best Undergraduate Teaching and Best Value College lists. Adrian College has been established as a distinctive and innovative educational leader in the United States. The institution places priority on a culture of innovation and critical thinking. This is the 12th consecutive year Adrian College has been featured by U.S. News and World Report. You can see the full list of rankings and find more information on their website. For more information about Adrian College, visit adrian.edu.
Welcome back to the Adrian College Sports Network. Bulldogs leading Olivet by a score of 9-0. We have some defensive changes and a pitching change that we'll let Dave Van Giesen handle for you over the PA.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. We have changes in the Bulldog lineup. Now playing first base is number 14, Nick Roush in place of Aaron Valentine. And now pitching for the Bulldogs is number 20, Austin Frederick in place of Trey Miller. Leading off for the Comets in the top half of the seventh inning is center fielder number 18, Matt Hewitt.
Back at the top of the order here for Olivet. It's going to be a bunt attempt. O'Keefe's going to have to play it on the line. He's going to let it roll. It goes foul. A smart play by the senior third baseman, knowing his field and knowing the turf. It was going to be a base knock if he picked it up too soon. Instead, let it roll, and the turf took it foul.
A little bit of information about our new pitcher, number 20, Austin Frederick. 9.42 ERA this season, has a 1-0 record, has made 7 appearances with 2 starts, only 14 1/3 innings pitched so far. Hitters doing pretty well against him as they're hitting .359. 13 strikeouts on the year with 6 walks, 15 earned runs, allowed 23 hits.
Brings up Fisher now for Olivet. He swings at the 1-1. Oh, my bad. I didn't even realize.
Usually a foul ball, you come back.
You're right.
But anyway,
there's that brain fart.
Rolls it over to Brady Wood at second. He'll pick it up, fire it over to Rouch at first, route number 1.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 8, Matt Fisher.
Now we'll bring in Fisher. Something I wanted to point out. Yeah, Olivet has 1 hit, but we're still kind of going through the order. We've only seen everybody's batted twice. This is the third at bat for everybody, the third time through the order, right on cue where you'd be anyway, and that's due to the 1 hit that was trying to be stretched into a double by Sella. Gets thrown out from Casal over in right field, and that's how we've seen this game kind of progress over the course. The pitching has been really good for Adrian College. Owen swung through, makes it 0-2 here on Fisher.
Yeah, definitely the pitching, Swanson came in, struck out 7 to start the game. Then Miller came in relief, struck out 2 out of the 6 batters that he faced. Swanson only faced 12 batters. But here's one of the things. The total pitches, Swanson 43 total pitches, 31 of them strikes. Miller 19 total pitches, 13 of them strikes.
O'Keefe on the backhand, deep in the hole at third, throws it over. And what a bullet to get it over to first base. For the second out of the inning, O'Keefe showing off the arm strength here.
Now batting first baseman number 5, Logan Sella. Well, I'll tell you right there, O'Keefe did a great job. He did not panic when that ball was hit down the line, and he knew he had to hurry, but he did a great job of setting his feet so he could throw it harder, and threw a complete strike over there to Rouse for the out. Great play by O'Keefe there at third base.
O'Keefe was named second team all MIAA this year, but at the plate he's only hitting .225. Doesn't have too much speed. He's only got 1 stolen base, so the reason why he made it was his fielding over at third base has been incredible this year.
0-2 here on Sella, now 1-2. Again, we were just talking about it a moment ago. Rolled a first hit and only hit for Olivet. As that's going to be the second hit for Olivet. Goes right back up the middle. And this time he'll stay at first and hang on to it. So that will put the first base runner on for Olivet, courtesy of the Sella single.
Now batting third baseman number 4, Ben Compton.
And right on cue, the announcer curse comes right on in, and the batting order is now out of order.
No Dr. Pepper for Matt Kennedy for 2 weeks.
This one pops up high. It will get out of the stadium here.
But in fairness to you, Matt, Sella is the only guy to get hits today.
Yeah.
So you happen to mention it just as the premier hitter in the Olivet line that was stepping to the plate. So
0-1 here on Compton. Third baseman today for Olivet. That one's down low. Frederick, again, working from the stretch. He works on the extreme side of the first base rubber, maybe having half of his foot really on the rubber to drive off of. He's got a little bit of that open stance before he checks over at first, and then high glove comes to the waist. And he works with a little bit of a high leg kick. We'll see a slide step there, and it's down low. Make it 2-1 here on Compton. Sullen not having a big lead over at first. Being conservative here, down 9-0. Most likely we'll see station to station here for Olivet. That one's out. Make it 3-1 now. Again, thanks for everyone tuning in. This is the Adrian College Sports Network. Matt Kibbe, Mike Prang, Dave Van Giesen with you today. That one swung through a really early swing by Compton, and that's going to make it 3-2. Looked like a changeup out of the hand of Frederick.
Full count, 2 outs, runner at first. He will be going on the pitch. Takes off, pitch misses outside, ball 4.
Now batting the catcher, number 11, John Kortz. Well, tell you, with the single by Sella, this Frederick becomes the first Bulldog pitcher to actually pitch from the stretch today, and I think that adjustment led to some balls there and a walk, but we got an easy bouncer and over to first base, and the inning is over. So the Comets get no runs on a hit. They leave 2 runners. And we're going to move to the first 7th inning stretch of the year, and we'll be back with more baseball here on the Adrian College Sports Network.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in. Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent, character, hard work, grit, leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds, got out a last-line shift, will their team to victory, hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th, and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Leading off for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 7th is right fielder, number 17, Joe Casal.
Welcome back here to Nicolay Field, coming off of the 7th inning stretch here in this 9-inning contest. The question we've been kind of asking is, if we're under those NCAA rules, this could be, it could turn into a 7-inning game here, as Casal will line one right down the line. This could be an Adrian double, and Casal is going to hold up at first after going about halfway around the bag. A leadoff single for the Bulldogs, and like I mentioned, an opportunity to maybe only play 7.
Now batting left fielder number 21, Brandon Cooper. Well, there's a time right there where Nicolay Field was not a home field advantage, because a lot of ballparks, that ball does not hit the fence and ricochet right to the left fielder, so it continues to go down the line into the corner, and you get that easy double. But good recognition there by Casal to realize that he had no chance going to second base and to hold on to first base, because if that run rule is in effect, he becomes now the winning run.
One run rule we're talking about, the 10-0 mercy rule, 10 after 7. Kind of something you see over in softball even during the regular season. Over in baseball here during these 7-inning doubleheaders, we did not see that rule enforced. Played all 7.
And again, when you're talking like a normal regular season game, it might not be considered good sportsmanship to maybe take an extra base and stuff, but to save your bullpen 2 innings of pitching throughout a tournament like this, you have almost like got to play this like it's a, like bottom of the 9th, score 1 run walk-off situation. So see the game being kind of changed by those kind of rules.
1-2 here on Cooper. Redding still on the mound. This one's down low. It's going to get away. Casal's going to advance to second. That will put him into scoring position here with nobody out. And this is an opportunity here with 2-2. If Cooper does a job here and splits the gap between first and second, you had either a chance to at least get the runner to third, if not score. A chance to celebrate beyond first base. Olivet still going with the drastic right-handed shift. Here's the 2-2. This one popped up. Might not be deep enough to advance Casal. Called off. Savage catches it. It's just a couple steps away from the infield, and Casal will be forced to stay at second.
Now batting first baseman number 14, Nick Roush.
So Rouch comes to the plate for his first at-bat of the game after checking in for Aaron Valentine at first base. Hasn't seen so much plate appearances this year. He's only got 5 at-bats, 2 hits out of those 5 at-bats, 3 RBIs. He started 1 game this season. He's only played in 12 games so far. Kind of more of a defensive replacement, but earlier in the year where A.J. Miranda was getting the starts at first, then it was Aaron Valentine that would come in later in the game for him. So Rouch kind of saw a dead period in his playing time, but he's seen it pick up in the recent weeks as there's another wild pitch.
That puts the 10th run over at third base. Now all it takes is a pop fly deep enough on the outfield. As I'll be interested to see if Olivet elects to go with a shallow outfield or bringing the infield in, which they're not going to. That implies me to think that we don't have that mercy rule in effect. That one's going to drop. This is going to score the run. Casal comes in. It's 10-0 now off of the RBI by Nick Roche.
Looks like it's not in effect.
Yes, it's not a thing.
It's a question for...
Now batting third baseman number 12, Sean O'Keefe.
One of the things I question, and with no postseason baseball last year, you got to think back to 2019 and if you were put in that situation.
This one popped up by Sean O'Keefe. Triangle is forming. It's going to be caught by the second baseman of Campbell. A nice play. As we're going to have a pinch hitter here.
It's going to be Traven Grosser in for Ty Peck in center.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pinch batting for the Bulldogs is number 34, Trevin Grosser. Grosser in place of Ty Peck.
So Grosser will have his first at-bat of the game here. 2 outs, wind blowing in from right, a runner at first base. It's really the first time we've seen Olivet play straight up on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, you really don't have much on him, as he's only had 15 at-bats this season. He's still looking for his first hit of the year.
Swings, fouls it off, and it's going to be 1-1 now. Bottom of the 7th inning here at the Nicolay Field. First game of the MIAA tournament. The number 1 seed Adrian College Bulldogs taking on the number 8 seed Olivet Comets. 1-2 here on Grosser. This is the Adrian College Sports Network. Bulldogs line 10 runs, 13 hits, no errors. Olivet, no runs, only 2 hits and 4 errors. Someone rolled behind. It's foul.
Got some score updates. Hope has taken a 3-0 lead after scoring 3 in the bottom of the 6th against Trine over in that game. Alma leads 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th over Kalamazoo. And Kelvin has extended its lead to 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th against Albion.
1-2 fouled off again by Grosser.
And just to kind of update everybody on what's to come here in this tournament. If the Bulldogs hold on to this win, they'll play tomorrow at noon, and they'll take on the winner of that Kalamazoo-Alma game. And should they win that game, they will advance to Friday's championship game. That game will also be at noon as pitch is wide, and we get a stolen base there by Nick Roush.
As we have a moment, I'll throw up the tournament graphic. Here it is.
And should the Bulldogs lose that game, they would return tomorrow night at 6 p.m. to take on the winner of the losers bracket game. Both teams that lose today playing at 3 o'clock.
Game.
Yeah, that first elimination game is tomorrow at 3.
Here's the 2-2. This one swung on deep to right field, back at the wall, over the wall, a home run for the first hit for Trevor Grosser, and it's 12-0 Bulldogs. Take a look at this hit from Trayvon Grosser. Just smoked it with 2 strikes over the right field wall. And it's 12-0 Bulldogs.
Now batting shortstop number 4, Thomas Miller. Well, Traven now has a hit, and it's a big hit. As in, we'll let the softball field catch that one. Here's Miller now standing at the plate. He takes a curveball strike for strike number 1. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th, but the Bulldogs have struck for 3 runs now this inning, and they lead at 12-0. The delivery by Redding is down low for a ball, and it's 1-1.
I gotta tip my cap to Redding because as a former pitcher, when you're just allowing, he's allowed 14 hits so far this game. That's hard to do, to throw that next pitch. And he's at 117 pitches now as that single to the left. So it's hard to do that, but he's really taking one for the team because, they're thinking that they're going to the losers bracket and they got to work their way back with pitching. So they need to save all of their arms. So he is kind of taking one for the team here. But as a pitcher, it's really hard to do that.
We have another pinch batter here.
It's going to be number 2, Jake Lemelin.
Ladies and gentlemen, now pinch batting for the Bulldogs is number 2, Jake Lemelin. Lemelin in place of Brady Wood. Tell you another thing about Redding out there is he did a good job back in the 5th inning, when Valentine got the big hit. That could have been a lot bigger inning, but he, kept his composure and got the Bulldogs out without any more damage, got a nice double play, and he pitched a good 6th inning. So you kind of starting to think that maybe he could finish without further damage, but the Bulldogs getting to him a little bit here in the 7th. And again, this would be the end of, this ball game would be over in the regular season. So he's probably getting towards the end of his workload that he would normally get.
This is a 2-0 on Lemlin. He swings through. It's 2-1. Lemlin on the year, 278 batter in 16 games. Has 18 at-bats, 5 hits to go with it. 2-1. Called strike, make it 2-2. So twos across the board here as Olivet is going to look to get into the dugout in the bottom of the 7th inning and bring the bats up for the last 6 outs. Redding's pitch. Swung on, and it's going to be a base knock for Lemlin. This is going to score a run. He'll get an RBI as Miller comes all the way around to score from second base. And it is 13-0 Bulldogs. I'm going to guess that's going to be the day for Redding here. They're still having a discussion. And that's just, even in a 13-0 game, we've been saying, and that's just putting the kind of the team on your back, a team-first mentality, knowing that you're going to need the pitching, especially tomorrow, going into an elimination game.
He's at 122 pitches, but 80 of them are strikes.
Yeah.
So he's thrown well, and he's going to stay in the game here.
Wow.
Now batting the catcher, number 10, Gunnar Rainey.
So I wonder, was that kind of more of a discussion as to, hey, this is where you're at. How are you feeling? Because this is what our plan is going forward. You wonder kind of what took place out there in that meeting.
And he's going to hit the batter, hit Gunnar Rainey on his first pitch. That's going to put runners at first and second here with 2 outs. Just trying to get the final out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Now batting number 24, Brendan Baldus.
Baldus will have his second at-bat, struck out in his first at-bat when he pinched hit for Kevin Cardenti. That one's inside, called a ball. Bulldogs have 16 hits here in this contest, only 2 for Olivet. Here's the 1-0. Another one up and in. Makes it 2-0 on Baldus. Again, this is the Adrian College Sports Network. Matt Kibbe, Mike Prang, Dave Van Giesen with you in the booth. Called strike. 2-1 now.
A lot of people standing in the Adrian bullpen, so I wonder, are we going to see Frederick again for the 8th, or one of the members of the Bulldog bullpen later?
Three and one here on Baldus. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Bottom of the 7th inning here in the first round of the MIAA tournament.
And this again is what I meant when at the beginning of the ball game when I said that pitching decisions are totally different than they are in the regular season, because here we got a game, it's 13-0, and the team that is giving up 13 is Baldus. It's a fly ball to left, which should end the inning, and it does. But with 13 runs, they've went with one pitcher the entire game, while the team throwing a 2-hit shutout is on 3 and maybe looking at 4 here. So you got that going on.
Take a look as we head into the break and head to the top of the 8th inning at the Traven Grosser home run. We'll be right back here on the Adrian College Sports Network. Here's the 2-2. This one swung on deep to right field, back at the wall, over the wall, a home run for the first hit for Traven Grosser, and it's 12-0 Bulldogs.
Down base. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder.
Bulldog fans, connect with Adrian College TV on social media to be updated when we're broadcasting live, to see highlights, plays of the week, and much more. Adrian College Television is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ACTV's handle is at Adrian College TV on every form of social media. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the home of the Bulldogs, Adrian College TV.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Leading off with the comments on the top of the 8th is left fielder number 16, Silas Wall. Who's playing left now?
Bruiser. Welcome back to the Adrian College Sports Network. A lot of changes here in the top of the 8th inning. We'll have Mike Prang, the SID, go over those. As O'Keefe is going to field that one on a hop, on a throw, and it's going to be pulled off the bag. That's going to be a base hit.
Yeah, I think he would beat that one there with that tree that jumped out of nowhere in the turf. Sean O'Keefe hit.
We're going to give him a hit there because he had to range to his left, and he got there, and like you say, he kind of got tripped up by the turf monster, and that's a base hit. How about designated hitter number 34, Jake Allen.
Brings up Allen.
Our defensive changes here. Jake Lemelin is going to go to second base after pinch hitting for Brady Wood. In left field will be Traven Grosser. And then in center field is going to be Alex Joseph, who's checking in for Brandon Cooper. Rauch stays over at first. Maxwell Denny is the new pitcher for the Bulldogs. Everybody else stays the same, with Casal staying in right, Thomas Miller over at short, Sean O'Keefe at third, and Gunnar Rainey behind the plate.
1-1 here on the designated hitter, Allen.
Maxwell Denny on the season, 6.59 ERA. He's 0-2 on the year in 7 appearances with 4 starts. Only thrown 13 2/3 innings with 11 strikeouts, but he's struggled when it's come to walks. Out of those 13 2/3 innings, he's walked 18 batters. And he's now down 3-1 to Allen.
Runner takes off for second. It's going to be up high, ball 4. That's going to be a walk. Runner's at first and second now with nobody out.
How about second baseman number 40, Tyler Campbell.
I want to talk about some, I'll wait for the bottom of the 8th, but stay tuned for the bottom of the 8th. We'll talk about some campus activities that have been going on that the college has been putting on in its fight against COVID-19. It's 0-1 here on Campbell from Denny. And I mentioned that because I'm now starting to feel the effects of a little bit of tiredness. That's swung through by Campbell. Denny lost his hat, and that's something that we've been familiar with in his limited innings of work when he's done it at home. That hat does not stay on.
I think it's a long hair thing. I've played with a lot of people that's got a longer set of hair, and their hat's always falling off.
So it's a 1-2 on Campbell. That one upstairs makes it 2-2. Like I said, I'd wait till the bottom of the 8th inning, but I'm going to talk about it now. Adrian College today hosted their second vaccine clinic, the second dose of the Moderna vaccine. Dr. Emily Kist. That one's going to be a roll. It's going to be a base knock. They're going to send them home. Allen thought about shooting the runner, but in a 13-0 game, let the runner score and keep everybody where they are. It's just another example of the Bulldogs and Adrian College.
Now batting right fielder number 10, Trevor Savage.
My bad, Goose. Forget you have another job up here. This is a little more important for you.
Yeah. We got to get him up there to move the game along. So you may resume with.
This is another example of the Bulldogs in their fight against COVID-19, trying to get campus as normal as possible, offering the vaccine that everyone seems to be getting a chance to partake in. Students, faculty, staff had the option to go through the college, go through an outside source. I know I got my second shot today. I believe, Mike Prang, you got your second shot today.
False.
Oh.
I actually was able to push mine off as due to the timing of it and having a baseball game today, 3 tomorrow, and possibly 2 on Friday.
Yeah.
But nothing over the weekend. Myself, along with some members of the Adrian College coaching staff and members of the team, talked with Rite Aid, the provider of the vaccine, and we are going to go get ours together on Saturday morning. That way we all have that Saturday afternoon, Sunday off in the event we have some effects.
Couldn't reach out to the ECTV and I'm out here getting shot up, you know.
That one's popped up foul. It caught by Rouch for the out. But Allen is going to tag and go to second.
How batting center fielder number 18, Matt Hewitt.
I would have told you, but I had my appointment at 12:50 today, and as I'm walking down the stairs from my office to go get it, I see Jamie Fetter, our head athletic trainer, and I said I'm a little nervous just with having to work 3 baseball games tomorrow and the possibility of being miserable. And he said, well, some of the guys on the team and the coaches are pushing off. They're going to get it Saturday. Like, we worked it out where all you got to do is walk into Rite Aid with your card and, you know, walk-ins only, don't need an appointment. And I'm like, well, can I do that? And he said, yeah, go ahead. So that's what I'm doing. Kind of a last-second thing. Glad I saw Jamie Fetter at the right place at the right time.
It's going to be caught there. Lemlin makes a nice defensive play. 4-3 on the putout for 2 outs. A run does score. So it's 13-2 now.
How batting shortstop number 8, Matt Fisher.
Run for Olivet.
I got mine done 2.5 weeks ago in Battle Creek, so.
Feeling good. You're all shaking off from it, right?
Well, I got to tell you, to be honest with you, I didn't really have any ill effects. I was glad about that because I had a busy day the next day as well. So, fortunately, nothing went wrong, and I got to run the golf tournament that I was putting on that day. So.
Well, we'll see how much you guys see me tomorrow. If I gotta say, hey, game 2, I'm out. I'm gonna sleep under the press box. the guy who gave me the shot, the doctor that was there, said, hey, just drink fluids. You should be good to go. So we'll see how true that is. 1-2 here.
Right, depends on which fluids you choose there.
That's right. He did specify water. I changed it to fluids instead. I will say, he did say, hey, if you need a little bit of caffeine, you can go with the caffeine. That's okay.
They call it that good old Mountain Dew. Those that refuse it are few.
1-2 here on Fisher. Lone runner at second base in this 13-2 ball game. We're in the top of the 8th inning. It's going to be inside. Make it 2-2 from Denny. One's outside. 3-2 now.
Let's check it on these other games. Hope leading Trine 4-0, top of the 8th. Alma still leading Kalamazoo 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th, and Calvin leading Albion 4-2 in the top of the 9th. Albion down to their final 3 outs.
This one's popped up, foul territory. O'Keefe climbing the fence, and it's just 3 feet away from him and out of his outstretched glove. So we'll do it again.
I heard him say I got it.
I did hear. That's why I started getting over at him like, oh, he might make a play. You see him hop over on the fence. You remember a couple weeks ago we saw Brady Wood go acrobatic on us and make a nice play on the fence.
Yeah, definitely. That was a play between him and Miranda. Miranda thought it was completely out. Brady Wood said otherwise and went and just jumped and ran into the fence. See Fisher hit this one over to Lemelin at second. That'll end the top of the 8th.
So Olivet's able to get a couple runs across and make it 13-2 on a couple of hits. We'll be right back here on the Adrian College Sports Network.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well. Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in. Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent, character, hard work, grit, leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds, gut out a last-line shift, will their team to victory, hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th, and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Welcome back here to Nicolay Field, the Adrian College Sports Network. The MIAA tournament going into the bottom of the 8th inning of game number 1, round number 1, between the number 1 seeded Adrian College Bulldogs and the number 8 seed Olivet College Comets. 13-2 ball game here. You can see the box score: 13 runs, 16 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. 2 runs, 4 hits, 4 errors for Olivet. And we'll kind of go through the breakdown inning by inning here when we get underway.
We do have a new pitcher, though, for Olivet. It's going to be Tanner Finn in. Brennan Redding's day is done. He went 7 innings, allowed 16 hits, 13 runs, 10 of them earned. Walked 2, struck out 3, allowed a double, a triple, a homer as well, through 128 pitches.
Leading off for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 8th is right fielder number 17, Joe Casal.
Tanner Finn on the year, only making his 5th appearance. He's only thrown 8 innings so far this year. Has a 13.5 ERA. So allowed 14 hits, 13 runs, 12 of them earned. 2 strikeouts to go along with 8 walks.
One on Casal is down low. Make it 1-1 now. This one swung on, popped up foul. Not enough room over on that first base side. So it's 1-2 now.
Casal, another all MIAA team selection, taking up one of the outfield spots on the 2nd team after his freshman season. Pitch is low, even the count 2-2.
This one rolled over to short. Picked up there. Quick throw and a release, and it's going to be a 6-3 put out for the Comets for the first out of the bottom of the 8th.
Now batting center fielder number 27, Alex Joseph.
Joseph was his first at-bat of the game after checking in for Brandon Cooper on the defensive end, the top of the inning.
This is the 1-0. Outside, 2-0 now.
Joseph this season batting .053, 17 games played. He's only got 19 at-bats, 4 runs scored, 1 hit, and it was a double.
Swings at that one, fouls it off, 2-1. Good pitch to swing on the 2-0, just got underneath it, sent it back behind us. Here's the 2-1. Swung through. Joseph took a hack at it up in the top corner. Makes it 2-2 now. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. That's going to be strike 3. Joseph is retired on strikes. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
How about the first baseman, number 14, Nick Roush?
Nick Roush comes up to bat now. Swings at the first offering from Finn. It's going to be fouled straight back. 0-1. Now it's 1-1 here. One swung through. It's a 1-2.
You're just joining us. The Bulldogs scored 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 6 in the fifth, and 4 in the seventh to jump up 13-0. Olivet scored 2 in the top of the 8th inning to jump on the board. 13 runs on 16 hits with no errors for Adrian. Now we have 2 runs, 4 hits, and 5 errors for Olivet.
Here's the 2-2. It's a curved ball away. Makes it full. Here's the 3-2 from Finn. It's down low for a ball, and we'll see a pinch hitter.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Pinch batting for the Bulldogs is going to be number 18, Owen Engel. Engel in place of Sean O'Keefe.
Bring Sean O'Keefe's day to an end. The Bulldogs will only have 3 outs to get in the top of the 9th. believe we have any numbers.
And this is his first appearance of the season. Craig Prince just called up to see if he was activated on the roster. I did have some problems with our stat system earlier this year where I didn't have a player activated, and I put him in mid-game, and it threw the whole system in whack, put people in positions that they weren't playing. I had to spend hours fixing it. So I said, well, you know, to prevent this, provide me a travel roster. So then before each weekend, I'll go in and activate and deactivate who's in and who's out.
Engel hails from St. Clair Shores, Michigan, went to Lakeview High School. He's just a sophomore for a Bulldog team that has a lot of upperclassmen in leadership. It's one of the young guns for head coach Craig Rainey. 2-0 swung on and missed. Make it 2-1 now.
And who knows, maybe he'll be like Trevin Grosser and get his first hit with the one that leads the stadium, like Trevin did earlier.
Count is in his favor, 2-1. He swings, fouls this one to the third base dugout. And there's going to be twos across the board now. Here's the 2-2 to Engel. Swung on a rope foul. Almost took out Klotz. He stood there like a brick wall, though.
What a guy.
He didn't even flinch. He looks death in the eyes and says, fight me.
You know, I had a high school coach. He was our first base coach, 75 years old. He did the same thing. He never moved, but I don't know if it was just because, well, I'm so old, I'm not going to have the reaction time.
Engel strikes out in his first plate appearance of the year in the MIAA tournament. The Bulldogs have a 13-2 lead over the Olivet Comets. 3 outs, and the Bulldogs will advance here in the MIAA tournament. We'll be right back on the Adrian College Sports Network.
Bulldog fans, connect with Adrian College TV on social media to be updated when we're broadcasting live, to see highlights, plays of the week, and much more. Adrian College Television is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ACTV's handle is at Adrian College TV on every form of social media. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the home of the Bulldogs, Adrian College TV.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Third base is number 18, Owen Engel. And now coming into pitch for the Bulldogs is number 16, Tristan Richardson. Richardson in place of Maxwell Denning.
Welcome back. Pinch hitter coming up for Olivet.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Also now pinch batting for Olivet is number 26, Logan O'Connor. O'Connor in place of Logan Sella.
First pitch swung on. It's going to be caught over at first base for the first out of the inning. There's a lot of graphics going on there.
Now batting third baseman number 4, Ben Compton.
That brings up Ben Compton. 4-hitter here. The lineup 13-2. Bulldogs 2 outs away from securing a spot in the 12 o'clock game tomorrow. Game will be here at the Nick. We'll go over it in the post game.
I want to point out this is Tristan Richardson's second appearance on the mound this season. He also plays the outfield for the Bulldogs as a hitter. He's hitting .275 this season. This one's a shallow pop-up to the right side. Lemelin calls for it. He'll make the catch. That's out number 2. We're going to get another pinch hitter here. It's going to be number 28. It's like Daniel Bollig.
A pinch batting for Olivet is number 28, Daniel Bollig.
Bulldog on the year, a 143 hitter. He's the last out here for the Bulldogs as they look to advance to the winner's side of the bracket in this double elimination format. 2-0 here is Richardson. I think this is a situation, too, for the Bulldogs. You put the pitcher/outfielder on the mound just to save one of your true bullpen arms, if you will. Not to say that Tristan Richardson isn't a great pitcher or anything, but gives up a hit here, and we'll have another batter.
Now batting left fielder number 16, Silas Wall.
Make it a little interesting here in the top of the 9th. Infield will play back.
Well, as we've seen many times in his Bulldog career out in right field, Richardson possesses a very strong arm, so that gives him a big fastball, and sometimes that's all you need. But he floats a curve over there, so he's showing his full repertoire of pitches right now.
Trying to do it in 3 pitches here. Last out of the game. And the Olivet Comets are down to their final strike. That one outside. Make it 1-2 now on Wall. First, well, not the first 9-inning game. First 9-inning game in a while here for the Bulldogs. It's at 1-2. Richardson delivers. This one swung on, rolled over to third, picked up there by Engel. Over to first in time, and the Bulldogs will beat the Olivet Comets by a final score of 13-2 here in the MIAA opener. And the Bulldogs will advance to the winner's side of the bracket. As we take a look at that now, I'll be playing here at the Nick tomorrow against the winner of the Kalamazoo and Alma game, which right now is a 4-1 lead for Alma as they go into the top of the 8th inning. Losers will play, Olivet, I should say, will play the loser of that game at 3 p.m. And then the 2 losers of tomorrow's first 2 games will play again at 6 p.m. So a triple header here at the Nick and on Adrian College TV. Really good day for the Bulldogs offensively. As we'll wrap up our postgame show.
That is the end of today's game. Our final score here this afternoon is Adrian College 13 and Olivet College 2. Here's the final line score on today's game. For Olivet, they had 2 runs on 5 hits, they made 5 errors, and left 4 runners on base. For your Bulldogs, they had 13 runs on 16 hits, they made no errors, and left 7 on base. The winning pitcher this afternoon for Adrian is Trey Miller. His record is now 2-1, and the losing pitcher for Olivet is Brendan
So that'll do it. The final line score, 13 runs, 16 hits, no errors for the number 1 seeded Bulldogs. 2 runs on 5 hits with 5 errors for the number 8 seeded Olivet College Comets. The Bulldogs will advance to that noon game tomorrow against, like we said, the winner of Alma and Kalamazoo. Alma currently leading 4-1 on the top of the 8th. Olivet will play the loser of that game at 3 p.m. And the winner of the 3 p.m. game will play the loser of the noon game at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So kind of a packed slate. All that action will be right here on ACTV.
Really quick, we'll go over something. We saw a lot of good pitching from the Bulldogs today. We'll finish up with final thoughts from Goose. What were those final thoughts you got for us today?
Well, this went just about as good as it could for the Bulldogs. When you're starting a tournament like this, it's the first game in tournament play. And, nobody had to pitch too long, and everybody pitched well. And so Coach Rainey, I'm sure, was very pleased with the Bulldogs making no errors. So defensively, this was a well-played game by the Bulldogs. And, that big 6th inning, that big bases clearing double by Aaron Valentine was the big hit of the ball game. And that really swung the game from being a comfortable lead to a real comfortable lead and putting this game away. So good job by the hitters, good job by the fielders, good job by the pitchers. That's how you win championships. Hopefully we got 2 more of those at us here this weekend.
Bulldogs again win by a final score of 13-2 over the number 8 seed Olivet Comets. One more time, the schedule tomorrow, 12, 3, and 6. The Bulldogs will take on the winner of the Alma-Kalamazoo game. The losers of both of these games, Olivet and the loser of that game, will go again at 3 p.m. And then the losers of the 2 games tomorrow will have a doubleheader and play again at 6 p.m. Like Mike Prang mentioned, you can catch all these games on the Adrian College Sports Network and on ACTV. The YouTube links have already been created. You can find those games on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram probably. They're even on the Adrian Bulldogs website that you can find it. That's going to do it for us here for the Adrian College Sports Network. The final score 13-2 in favor of the Adrian College Bulldogs. For Dave Van Giesen, Mike Prang, I'm Matt Kibbe. We will see you tomorrow here on ACSN and at the beautiful Nicolay Field. So check back in. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Want to learn more about Adrian College Television? To find out more about ACTV, you can visit our website at adriancollege.tv. You can find direct links to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms there. Bulldog students can submit a request to become an announcer for ACTV. Fans can see press releases about upcoming events and what's happening at the Media Production House. Visit adriancollege.tv for more. The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well. Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in. Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent, character, hard work, grit, leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds, got out a last-line shift, will their team to victory, hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th, and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Bulldog fans, connect with Adrian College TV on social media to be updated when we're broadcasting live, to see highlights, plays of the week, and much more. Adrian College Television is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ACTV's handle is at Adrian College TV on every form of social media. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the home of the Bulldogs, Adrian College TV. Bulldog fans, connect with Adrian College TV on social media to be updated when we're broadcasting live, to see highlights, plays of the week, and much more. Adrian College Television is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ACTV's handle is at Adrian College TV on every form of social media. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the home of the Bulldogs, Adrian College TV.
The Adrian College Sports Network wants you to join us in thanking one of our sponsors, the Carlton Lodge of Adrian. The Carlton Lodge offers a comfortable and convenient lodging experience. Carlton has spacious rooms and suites, fit for a peaceful night's sleep. Their amenities include a hot tub and pool, a 24-hour fitness center, a business center, and much more. A huge thanks to Adrian College's Choice of Lodging for sponsoring Bulldog